Primo Levi, the great author and Holocaust survivor, wrote in his famous book, If This Is a Man, that the worst days in Auschwitz were the ones when the Nazis escaped from the Russian army and only the most sick and weak were left behind to die. They were left to die from hunger and cold. And then he recalls the following event. Levi and other two prisoners got up and worked real hard to fix the window so they could retain some of the heat inside of the barracks. Some of the other prisoners decided to pay back their hard-working mates by sharing a tiny slice of bread. Only a day before, says Levi, this would have been inconceivable. The law of the camp said, eat your own bread, and if you can, eat the neighbor's bread as well. Sharing the bread was the first human gesture that occurred among us. From that moment on, says Levi, we became free men again. This week's Parsha tells us about the impurity of the Metzorah. The Pasuk says, Zot tieh Torat HaMetzorah beyom tarato ve'ova el HaKohen. Meaning, this is the law of the Metzorah on the day of his purification, and he shall be brought to the Kohen. The Pasuk is almost identical to what is written in Sefer Bamidbar regarding the Nazir. There it says, Zot Torat HaNazir beyom elot yemei nizro yavi oto el petach o el moed. Meaning, this is the law of the Nazir. On the day that his Nazirut is completed, he shall bring himself to the entrance of the Ohel Moed. Rabbi Yerucham HaLevi, he notices an important distinction. When speaking about the Metzorah, it is written, he shall be brought. Meaning, there is some external force that pushes him to come and bring his Korban. When speaking about the Nazir, as Rashi explains, it is written, he shall bring himself. Why is this? Rabbi Yerucham explains that a Metzorah is someone who is controlled by external forces. The Gemara says that tzarat is usually a consequence of speaking Lashon Hara, tzarut ayin, meaning being stingy. That is, it is his Yetzer Hara that is in control, and therefore he must be brought externally. The Nazir is the exact opposite. Becoming a Nazir is a personal decision taken many times in order to avoid certain spiritual dangers or negative traits. The Nazir is a prototype of someone who takes his life in his own hands, who is truly free to decide and who leads his life. Therefore, he brings himself. He is a free man. And by the way, that may also be what Primo Levi saw. The Jews, until that moment, lived by the rules of their Nazi oppressors. And it was by sharing their bread that they were once again able to live back their lives in their own hands. Only then they became free men again. May we all merit to be free men and not slaves of our passions and desires. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.